What is going on, guys? I am so excited to bring this video to you. I told you guys we're gonna get Subaru content, and this is Subaru content. Unfortunately, you guys won't see this video probably till spring or whatever whenever the season opener is for my area, which is Wisconsin, just because I really want to keep this part of the build a secret. But today we are finally gonna be working on some suspension goodies I managed to snag up for a really good price. So without further ado, I'm just gonna show them right away. And I just want to say one quick thing is I honestly have only owned this vehicle for, I believe, 2 years. And I never in my life thought at 22 or anything that I'd be able to do this to my vehicle. This is normally very out of reach, very expensive, but I managed to pick it up for a super cheap price compared to what it is brand new. So we'll be throwing this in the vehicle today and tomorrow, but you'll see it as one video, big deal, whatever. But without further ado, it is kind of all over the place. I was testing it, but we are going to be doing a 3P airlift system, so you guys can kind of see, like I said, it's all over the place. I got both parts of the system used. The airbags I got used, and then the management and everything I got used. But either way, I set it all out here to test it and kind of figure out how it works in case I have any issues, which so far I haven't, so hopefully everything goes well. But it'll obviously be going on the 2015 WRX that we have, and these wheels are staying on it for the winter. These are STI wheels. Yes, this is an STI, big deal, whatever, whine about it. But either way, we're gonna get this thing lifted up, get the wheels taken off of it. I don't know how far we'll get today. It's currently 7 o'clock. I just gave it a car wash because it sits outside all year. But these are only the winter wheels. I have summer wheels that I have to find for it. I figure I want to get the suspension on first. But either way, this is gonna be my video of my 1 or 2 part video of installing the suspension. I'm also gonna put underglow on at the same time, but I'll grab that tomorrow because I forgot about it today. Have no idea how far I'll get, but I'm at least gonna get it moved over into the corner, kind of out of the way for the shop to still work and function. But I'm gonna at least try and get the suspension on. Potentially some of the wires ran, but we're not really sure on that one yet. Either way, let's get to getting this car up and on jack stands and all 4 tires off, and then I'll kind of talk through some more stuff. All right, so as you can see, the wheels are off. Gonna go ahead, come in here. Don't mind that it's dirty. I already know. This is, she goes into hibernation, quite hardcore. But let's do this. Where's, I mess it up every time I open this hood. So, we're gonna start with the front and go to the back. Take off these 3 nuts on the top hat, take off these 2 bolts, and then obviously everything connected to this, and the front struts will come out, and then we'll work to the back. So let's just do that real quick. obviously factory versus airlift. I actually did put lowering springs in, so I was running a little bit lower, which I just realized I messed up. And then what I was gonna do was measure to see how high the lowering spring setup was on the ground, and then have that as my normal ride height with airlift, but I guess we'll figure that out in a little bit. But let me see if I can show you. So as you can see right here, the fronts will tell you whether they are left or right, along with obviously the bottom half needs to match. But pretty much you swap over your hardware and you get back into installing it. So we're gonna install this one real quick, and then we're gonna install the driver's side. And then I'll move out to the back passenger. This is currently like not seized up, but kind of seized up on here. So when it gets onto the car, I'll get a spanner wrench and we'll adjust this for ride height as well. And we'll go from there. So let me get this going. All right, so the front is in. It's not tightened down or anything, but it is in. It's definitely gonna be a bit lower even at like max height than it is. Obviously it's an airbag, so it'll go up and down. But currently how it sits, it's already much lower than that. But we actually had a pretty simple install of just putting in the control, or the struts, basically. I'm gonna call them struts. Other than, you know, this brake line, the threads for it needed to be tapped just so that it could go in straight. Other than that, it wasn't a big deal. So now we're gonna go ahead and come to the back and undo this bolt, and then the bolt way up there. Obviously, there's a bolt right here we're gonna undo. Then that'll drop this down. We'll be able to grab this strut out of the trunk. Again, lowering springs. So let's get to that and we will get going. All right, so as you guys can see, we pretty much gutted the whole trunk other than the spare tire well. Actually, I'm going to do a, I'm not gonna call it a false floor, but it might be called a false floor, I'm not really sure. Either way, I'm gonna do either an epoxy floor or a wooden hardwood floor, like you see. But either way, had to gut the entire rear just so I can get to these bolts, and so I can plumb all of the hoses and wiring for the airlift. This bolt, both sides. And then, like I said, all the bolts down below. So I'm gonna go ahead and go underneath and do all those bolts real quick, and we'll get on that. What's going on, guys? I'll give you guys a quick update because I need to be a little bit more in depth in my videos, but either way, like I said before, front struts are on. As you can see, I'm starting to take apart the interior and on some of the wires. I have a bunch of wiring right there. Rear struts are on. Most of the wiring to the back is right here. It goes underneath there. I'm gonna wire it right along, basically following all these wires all the way down the side. And then we're gonna go all the way through here. And then we're gonna kind of go through here. And I watched the video and I'm actually gonna taking out both front fender liners. I'm gonna run right up here, go underneath this frame rail area, and then connect to the battery posts. Don't touch those. Holy shit, I almost just did. That would have hurt. But yeah, so it's kind of boring to just watch the video. Yeah, I know you guys like to see that, so I might do that. But either way, that's kind of the idea. It's taken forever running the wires, but that's about the second hardest part. The next hardest part will be figuring out how to run the hose line. Other than that, it's not gonna be too bad. So yeah, that's a quick update. Both hose lines I'm gonna try and run inside the car right where the wiring is on this side, and then same way, but obviously with no wiring on the passenger side. The back struts are basically just gonna pop up into the floor. I have this grommet pulled, as you guys can see. There's a grommet pulled right there. There's also a grommet right here. Let me get some light on that. There's that, there's that. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do the trunk exactly yet, but I'm probably gonna start on the trunk tomorrow. I just wanna get most of the wires ran, and then I'm probably also gonna run the hoses tomorrow. So yeah, that is currently where we're sitting. As you guys can see, I ran underneath like the support right there. So I'm just trying to do it as clean and keeping everything as inside the car as I can. I'd like to get on the ground, but that's just probably not going to happen, which is okay. I'm not going to rush it. I've only been doing this for about 2.5 hours, so I'm pretty happy with how far we've gotten, but I'm going to keep going at it. All right, so the final update for the night, basically I got the power cables ran all the way through, negative, both the positives with fuses. That was a pain in the butt, but I ended up running it up and through, and then following the hood latch and coming through. I put a slit in the hood latch, grommet, slid it through there. That was a pain in the butt, but tomorrow should be a lot easier. I might resort back to running airline through the bottom, like underneath the car like normal. Still not sure yet. I'd like to run it on the interior, but it might just be a heck of a lot easier to run it underneath. We'll see where we go on that. But again, all of this wiring pretty much isn't needed, so I'll probably throw most of it back and then tie it up. So I have ignition source and the controller both right there. Just kind of figure out where I'm going to go. I'm going to fuse tap into either here or somewhere else. I think there's two fuse boxes right here. There might only be one. I know there's one up there. So yeah, it's pretty much where I'm going to call it tonight. Just getting frustrated at little things and stuff, and you know, I got an interview tomorrow, so I'm gonna go get some sleep. It's like 10:30, so don't have any energy drinks and really don't have too much more to do. So I'm gonna kind of sleep on figuring out what I'm gonna do, and then we'll hit it back tomorrow at some point. So I'll pick it up tomorrow and we will go from there. Tomorrow I should be able to finish it up and just adjust everything and figure out how air ride exactly works. Like I said, I've never had it before. Kind of surprised I even have it now. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night today and pick back up tomorrow at some point, and I'll show you guys the rest of it. So see you tomorrow. All right, guys, what is going on? Today we are going to obviously finish up the Subaru and everything. So what I'm gonna do real quick, just because I want to make sure everything works still, is I think I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up in the trunk, roughly of how I want it to be, and then hook up the battery cables and everything, and just make sure that all that works, and then I'll go through and hook up all the air lines, and then we'll go from there. So the way I'm gonna do it is I'm actually gonna hook up one airline. Hold on, shaky. One airline, so like this one, I'll go to the back. That way I don't get them mixed up and I keep which ones are straight. I think I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna go underneath the car for the airline instead of going through the car, just because it'll be so much easier. And well, they pack a lot of stuff in these, I'm gonna call them frame rails, but the side of the body right here where I was gonna throw it, they pack a lot of stuff in there already, and there's a big mess of wires, so gotta backfeed all that and everything. But either way, I should be done with this in a few hours. I'm hoping about 4, but we will see how many hours it takes. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try and put the battery cables on and deal with all that stuff, so we will get to that in just a moment. So yeah, that's a quick update for you guys, and let's get to work. Alright guys, what is going on? So we just finished up installing it, the air ride suspension. Again, this is the 3P system from Airlift. Both kits are used, not brand new either way. The only thing we haven't finished is some of the interior, putting that back, figuring out where to route the cord for the controller, and then I still have to figure out how I'm gonna do my trunk setup. But either way, we have the Bluetooth app here, so everything's connected, and I'm gonna drop it for you guys on camera. I'm also gonna turn off my headlights. I have to mess around with some of the settings still, but other than that, this is kind of how it's going to look roughly. Might go a little bit lower, but probably not. Either way, this is still killer. And then obviously I can raise it up. Looks like that's max height. Again, I'm learning about this, so I'm gonna mess with it some more. Alright, so obviously this is just me messing around with it, but you guys get the idea. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will do a custom trunk setup later this year, before show season. And I still gotta figure out what wheels I'm gonna run. But either way, that's the air suspension. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what else you guys would like to see. More content is coming your way.